Hello, welcome to Being Reintegrated. This is Tim Wright. I'm really happy to talk about this. I might blunder a little bit through it because what has happened is years ago I heard of a person in esotericism named Max Theon. Um, his real name is like Maximilian Bimstein or something, but he was the teacher of many occultists. And so, what I was really happy to learn in an Aries, it's an academic journal from Brill, and an Aries article is that Max Theon spent time in Cairo with the master. And this is what I had come to find on my own research is that there's a tradition that goes through Cairo that all of the greatest mages were part of. I'm not wrong with that because we're now finding that Max Theon, I'm doing the research like I do. Max Theon was a member of a Cairo kind of instructional group. I don't know who it was, but I know that it was definitely mentioned in Egypt, Cairo. He learned what they call the cosmic tradition. And what the cosmic tradition is, he was also the teacher of Blavatsky, by the way. So some of this stuff that she's a fraud, I don't jump onto that camp. What I say is that essentially there is this primordial tradition, and that we've had a lot of scholars jump onto this stuff, but right now in 2025 we're finally able to get some information on Max Theon. So I'm working through translating a library for my Patreons at Kim Publishing. I'm doing private work that I'm not going to put into print form because it's too many books. I don't want to uh, overload people with like physical books. So this is actually a reader that I constructed that you can just click on. There'll be a link that will be regularly updated in the Being Reintegrated Patreon, and it'll let you read all this material by Max Theon. It's available to subscribers. It's not a free thing. And, I host it on Kim Publishing. But I'm so grateful to have this because just to talk with you about a little bit of it, and I'm getting kind of excited, so I do apologize about that. As I'm reading through the Brill article, I got the General Principles booklet that'll be there too. So I'm adding to the library, more and more. I'm doing the translation of all of the Theon work that I have, starting with the cosmic tradition. And what I found is even in the very beginning of the book, volume one, it starts talking about this process called externalization. And I immediately grafted to that, not because I'm lazy and I don't want to do my work, it's because he talks about these seven externalizations. Well, that is a form of architectonics. So when someone's talking like that, they're telling you one of the keys to the understanding of it. Anyway, in the General Principles booklet, we learn about some of this language. We learn about what the principles mean that are talked about in the cosmic tradition. It gives a little bit more of an in-depth view of what it is. So that's super exciting because as I was looking through the English translation, first ever done, the English translation that I provided to my subscribers, it shows names that I've never run into in occultism or esoteric or even religious and cross religion studies. And so I learned in the General Principles booklet, which the scholar recommended, that he was just doing an overview, but this is from Peter Hess in the Aries journal. I found the General Principles booklet, translated it to English, and now it's available in the library. So if you get stumped on any of the terms, it's just a really easy read. It's a general overview of Theon's principles. So I found that extremely enlightening, especially when, you get into some of these nuances of typology that Max Theon used, basically trying to talk about a dynamic of energy body or something while personifying it as an anthropomorphic being. So it's a little bit challenging, and I'd love to hear any feedback on this material. Now, Peter and Brill, Peter Hess says that the language is kind of archaic in the sense that it was made up French. So there's a lot of made up words that are referenced that he goes through in his work. We did the best we could at translating them, but when they're not translated, they're transliterated. So you'll just see the French word, and then the best job that I could do at getting a working translation. Now this is all changeable, so I can change the document if somebody has a good presentation on why the word should be changed and what it means. We'll change it for the community. So this is definitely not just set in stone. That's another reason why a book series like this I didn't want to put in print format, because what is easily able to happen is it turns into a mistranslation because the nuanced words of Theon are so important. But what I'm also excited about is that Themanles, I think that's how you say his name, who was the continuing work person for the cosmic tradition in the review, says that this work that I'm telling you about and that we translated is the continuation of the Hermetic Brotherhood of Luxor. So without going into, the sexual mysticism of Evola and Beverly Rudolph, and all of that, you could go into this and start to get more into what I think is more compatible with the Elukoan. And I'm really, really excited to have this kind of Max Theon partnership with Blavatsky because, I do have one of her books. It was pretty expensive. It was $100, and it was the Inner Teachings of Blavatsky, which is very similar to the Kriya Yoga of Yogananda's teacher, but it uses different terms. So what I think happened is that she learned this stuff from Theon, which what Peter Hells tells us. He has, I don't know how to say that well. Peter Hez says, and then she changed it into her own thing, which she learned from esoteric Buddhism. It makes a lot more sense. She was not a fraud. The system's not broken. The subtle bodies of the Bailey, of the transmitted Jwa Kul stuff, all of that is in each one of these systems. Even in the Golden Dawn and in the Elukoan, they all break down to kind of the same terminology, but some evolve it further. So I would link Max Theon's work probably with the Western version of a kind of Raja Yoga. I would put it in those areas. It's more refined than Blavatsky's theosophy, but it's also less, probably less understandable than some of the higher metaphysics of like I said, Kriya Yoga or something like that. So it's really good stuff, but we have to have eyeballs to see this kind of stuff. Anyway, the new Max Theon library for Being Reintegrated subscribers will be available exclusively to you privately through Kim Publishing. I'm so grateful to be able to do this. It's been something that's been on my list for a long time, is to get the Max Theon work out, open, and available, and now we've done it. So enjoy your reading, and if you have any questions, let me know. We can walk through some of it. But, you know, basically, I'm providing this as a service to my subscribers, and I hope that it goes well with them.